Namaskar, I am Ashwin, and in this video I will look at the game played between two beginners on chess.com, that is on 2nd May 2017. In this game, White's ELO was 1324 while Black's 1261. This kind of game shows how beginners play and their typical mistake. I will try to point out the same and discuss the same and hope that will help you in improving your play. Anyways, White played pawn to e4, Black replied with pawn to e5, knight f3, and now bishop c5, a mechanical move. You are just playing piece without any reason, and you are completely ignore the pawn on e5, and so did the white. White played bishop to c4. Right here, better was to play just knight capture on e5, where of course black can regain the pawn with queen h4. But after d4, queen capture, e4, bishop e3, and now he has to save the bishop, say bishop to e7, and you can play knight c3 or knight d2, and white is having huge lead in development. But I really doubt whether white has seen this or not. But the main point is that just don't play mechanical moves. Here after bishop c5, white played bishop to c4 without a single thought. Right? So bishop c4, pawn to d6, protecting it, pawn to h3, again a typical beginner move, stopping this bishop g4 pin. But that is crucial only if you have castled and the knight to d4 is real threat on the next move. But it is not the case, so instead you can play this knight c3 or pawn to d3 in this position, knight c3 or pawn d3, and if bishop g4 comes, then you can play h3, bishop h5, g4, and this is not at all bad because you haven't commit the castle on the king side, and after bishop g6 you can even go for h4, right? But we have this h3, and now comes h6, the same thing, pawn to c3, and now pawn to h6. There is no point behind this move. As you can see, I have highlighted out of 5 moves, black has played 4 moves with his pawns, and you should avoid this kind of moves. In the game, white played pawn to d4, attacking the bishop, e capture d, c capture d, and now bishop to a7. And now the blunder from white, that is pawn to d5. Although this doesn't lose any material directly, but in my view this is clear blunder. What you are doing, you are just blocking your own bishop, light square bishop on this diagonal, and you are allowing black bishop to get very active on this diagonal. In this position, black bishop was restricted by your pawn on d4, and white bishop was very much active, and you played this move, it's just gone, right? So this is a blunder. See, in chess, good position is all about your piece placement, and your piece placements is all about your piece's activity. In the game, black played knight f6, knight c3, defending e4 pawn, bishop d7, and now queen b3, hitting this b7 pawn, and black played pawn to b5, and white just took on b5. Sacrifice for the sake of sacrifice, without calculating anything. This is typical beginner's moves. You should avoid this kind of moves. Instead, better was to play bishop to d3, protecting this center pawn. But after bishop capture b5, pawn capture b5, and game is already lost, but white played knight capture b5, and this is again a mistake. What you are doing, you are exchanging your center pawn against opponent's flank pawn, and this is not good at all in the initial stage of the game. Black just took the pawn, white castled, black castled, and rook e1. Again a typical beginner move, right? You are just playing without a second thought, and completely forget that this pawn on f2 is hanging. So always give weightage to your opponent plans, your opponent moves, right? And think twice before moving a piece. And after black's bishop capture f2, white resign because it loses the rook, or you can say the exchange. But in my view, the main mistake of this game, or the main blunder of this game, is making pawn to d5 in this position. White played pawn to d5, and that was the blunder of the game. I hope this video will help you in improving your chess play. Thanks. Your comment and question please. Bye bye.